right, so are you ready to dive into Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
This book, it's like a cornerstone of personal finance,
Yeah, classic.
And, we've got excerpts straight from the book. So we're going right to the source here to like really understand
Yeah.
what's the big deal? Why is everyone talking about it? Why is it connected with so many people?
Well, it's funny. Rich Dad, Poor Dad has kind of stirred up
Mm.
a lot of different opinions when it comes to money and success.
Mm-hmm.
Some people love it. Some people are critical of it. But
Yeah.
I think we can all agree it definitely gets people talking.
Yeah.
And that's what we're here to do, right? We're here to
Exactly.
to help you break down those ideas
Yeah.
and help you decide what works for your own journey.
Love that.
Yeah.
And speaking of journeys, right? Kiyosaki kicks things off with a really interesting story.
Yeah.
His own life,
Mm-hmm.
growing up with these two father figures,
Yeah.
his biological dad and then his best friend's dad.
Mm-hmm.
And he calls them his poor dad and his rich dad.
Yeah. That's a really interesting way to frame it.
Yeah, and I think that's where it gets really interesting.
Totally.
Because he uses that contrast, right? One dad, highly educated, but kind of struggling financially.
Right.
The other, a successful entrepreneur, but didn't have a ton of formal schooling.
Exactly.
And he uses that to set up this core argument that traditional education doesn't automatically equal financial success.
Doesn't equal financial success.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people really resonated with that message
Yeah.
because they felt like they were doing all the right things, going to school, getting a job.
Oh, yeah.
But they weren't seeing the financial results they were hoping for.
For sure. It definitely makes you kind of question that traditional path a little bit.
For sure.
Like maybe there's more to this money game than just, going to school, getting good grades, getting a good job.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And then he illustrates this with that powerful anecdote about learning about the rat race.
Yeah.
At 9 years old.
Yeah, that's
9 years old.
a pretty powerful lesson to learn at 9.
His rich dad has him work for 10 cents an hour.
Right.
Teaching him this hard lesson about how so many employees are just stuck trading time for money, and they never really break free.
Right, they never get ahead.
So wait, you're telling me 10 cents an hour for a 9-year-old
Yeah.
is a good thing?
I think you have to think of it more as like a wake-up call.
Okay.
Like his really dad was trying to show him the reality of the rat race.
Okay.
Like how you can work really hard, earn money, and then spend it all on bills.
Yeah.
And never really get ahead financially. It's like running on a treadmill. You're working really hard,
Right.
but you're not actually going anywhere.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think we've all felt that at some point.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like stuck on that treadmill. And that's why Kiyosaki's advice for breaking free, it centers around this one key idea, understanding the difference between
assets and liabilities.
Assets and liabilities.
Yep.
Okay. Simple.
Simple enough, in theory.
But I have a feeling he puts his own spin on these terms.
Oh, he definitely does.
Yeah.
He does. Yeah, he defines assets as things that put money in your pocket.
Okay.
And liabilities are things that take money out of your pocket.
Okay.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But here's where he kind of shakes things up a little bit.
Okay.
He argues that a house, which a lot of people consider like a valuable investment, he says it can often be more of a liability than an asset.
Why? How can a house, something most people consider a really valuable investment, be a liability?
I know.
Isn't it all about building equity?
Yeah. So his point is that while you might build equity over time, a house also comes with a lot of ongoing expenses. You've got your mortgage payments,
Right.
property taxes, maintenance repairs.
Right.
All of those things are taking money out of your pocket every single month.
Yeah.
Now, he's not saying don't buy a house.
Okay.
But he wants you to be aware of the financial implications.
Okay.
And think about whether that money could be put to better use somewhere else, at least initially.
Okay, so if a house isn't always the best example of an asset, what are some things that he thinks do put money in your pocket?
Well, he's a big proponent of building a portfolio of income-generating assets.
Okay.
Things like businesses, rental properties, stocks that pay dividends, things that generate cash flow even when you're not actively working.
So it's about having your money work for you.
Exactly.
Not the other way around.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see the appeal of this rich dad philosophy.
Yeah.
It's about that freedom, right?
Yeah.
That most people are looking for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, you got any good examples from the book about how this actually plays out in the real world?
Oh, yeah, totally. He uses the example of Ray Kroc,
Okay.
guy behind McDonald's. Now, people think he got rich selling burgers, right?
Yeah, of course.
But his real genius was in the real estate.
Oh, wow.
He strategically bought up the land that his franchises were built on.
Wow.
So he was creating this massive asset base that generated passive income for years to come.
Wow, talk about thinking outside the bun.
Right.
That's seriously clever.
Pretty smart.
But let's be real, building that kind of wealth
Yeah.
doesn't happen overnight.
No, it takes time.
What about the roadblocks that people face
Yeah.
along the way?
Mm.
I bet Kiyosaki has some thoughts on that too, right?
Oh, he definitely does. He dedicates a whole section to like the 5 main reasons why he thinks people fail to build wealth.
Okay.
And it's not about, lack of money or opportunities. It's these internal roadblocks, fear, cynicism, laziness, bad habits, and arrogance.
So basically our own minds can be our biggest financial enemies.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, let's start with fear.
Right.
We all have it to some degree, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Kiyosaki argues that fear of losing money can be paralyzing.
Okay.
It prevents people from taking risks,
Yeah.
trying new things, investing in their
Yeah.
future.
So it's not just about avoiding bad decisions.
Right.
It's about missing out on good ones.
Exactly.
Because of that fear.
Because of fear. Yeah. And Kiyosaki tells this great story about how he learned to remember the Alamo, not to dwell on past failures, but to use them as fuel, to push forward, He sees failure as a learning opportunity, a stepping stone to success.
That's a really powerful way to reframe things.
Yeah.
It's not about avoiding it altogether, but about using it to your advantage.
Exactly.
Okay.
He also talks about choosing your friends carefully, and not in a snobby way, but surrounding yourself with people who support your goals and who challenge you to grow.
So your social circle can actually influence your financial success.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay. I never really thought of it like that.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. He observed that his wealthy friends, they often talked about money.
Okay.
Not in a bragging way, but like they were genuinely interested in learning and sharing knowledge about money.
Okay.
It was just part of their culture.
Yeah.
And then his friends who struggled financially, they tended to avoid the topic altogether.
It's like they were afraid to even talk about it.
Right, exactly.
Let alone make more of it.
Yeah, and so that's why he suggests surrounding yourself with financially savvy people because it exposes you to new ideas and opportunities and perspectives.
So it's about being intentional.
Yeah.
About who you surround yourself with.
Total.
To make sure it's aligning with your goals.
Exactly. All right, so now let's move on to his 10 actionable steps to awaken your financial genius. Now remember, this isn't about get-rich-quick schemes.
Right.
This is about financial literacy, empowering yourself to make informed choices and build a solid foundation for your future.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, so instead of listing all 10, why don't we just focus on a few that might be the most relevant to you right now?
Okay.
Based on what you've shared, it seems like you're at a point in your life where you're looking to build a stronger financial foundation and maybe explore some investments.
That's spot on.
Okay, perfect.
I'm ready to level up my financial game.
Okay, awesome.
But not always sure where to start.
Well, then let's start with the first step.
Okay.
Finding a reason greater than reality.
Okay.
Kiyosaki calls this the power of spirit.
Right.
It's that deep-seated emotional drive that pushes you to overcome obstacles and persevere. Even when things get tough.
So like having a really powerful why.
Exactly.
That fuels your action.
Exactly. He shares his own wants and don't wants.
Yeah. Like wanting the freedom to travel the world, wanting control over his time, and not wanting to be stuck in a job he hates. And he encourages readers to define their own compelling reasons.
That makes sense because if you don't have strong enough why, it's easy to get sidetracked or give up when things get tough. Okay, so then what's the next step?
Well, a step that goes hand in hand with that is investing in education.
Okay, so back to school. I thought we were breaking free from that traditional path.
Not necessarily formal education, but continuous learning.
Okay.
Actively seeking out information, attending seminars, reading books, listening to podcasts like this one.
Yeah.
Constantly expanding your financial knowledge.
So it's like financial fitness, you got to keep learning.
Yeah.
Working those money muscles
I love that analogy.
to stay in shape.
Yeah. And just like physical exercise, it's about consistency.
Yeah.
Kiyosaki compares it to going to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest part is deciding to go.
But once you're there and you're in motion, it becomes easier.
I can relate to that.
And even enjoyable.
For sure.
And then another step that goes hand in hand with education is mastering a formula and then looking for a faster one.
Okay.
This is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Kiyosaki believes that there are formulas for success in any field, including finance.
Okay.
So it could be a formula for investing in real estate,
Right.
starting a business, trading stocks.
So it's not just about working hard, it's about working smart.
Exactly.
Finding those leverage points that can accelerate your success.
Exactly. Kiyosaki himself mastered the art of buying foreclosures early in his career, and that became his formula for building wealth.
Okay.
But he also emphasizes that what works today might not work tomorrow.
Right. So you have to be adaptable and constantly learning.
Yes.
Looking for new and better formulas.
Right, and that's what sets apart the truly successful from the average.
Okay.
That constant desire to improve,
Oh.
to optimize, to find those faster formulas that can take them to the next level.
This idea of like finding and mastering formulas really resonates with me.
Yeah.
And like once you have that proven system, it's not just about working harder.
Right.
It's about refining and improving that system for better results.
It's like the difference between chopping wood with a dull axe versus a sharp one.
Oh.
You can swing with all your might, but with the right tool, the effort becomes so much more effective.
Perfect analogy.
Yeah.
So we've talked about, finding that strong why, investing in education, mastering formulas.
Yeah.
What other gems does Kiyosaki have in his 10 steps?
Well, one that I think trips people up, and Kiyosaki addresses this head on, is the idea of paying yourself first.
Okay.
Now, it sounds counterintuitive, right?
It does.
Most people think pay the bills, then see what's left over.
Right, yeah.
But Kiyosaki flips the script.
Okay, so before rent groceries, that daily latte, you're setting aside money specifically for yourself.
Exactly.
What's the logic behind that?
It's about shifting your mindset from scarcity to abundance.
Okay.
By paying yourself first, even if it's a small amount initially.
Yeah.
You're prioritizing your financial well-being.
Well,
you're telling yourself, my future's important and I'm investing in it.
It's like building that financial muscle we talked about.
Exactly.
You're making those consistent deposits into your wealth account.
Exactly. And it can be a powerful mental shift.
Okay.
Instead of feeling like you're always behind, you're actively building towards something.
I like that.
Yeah.
Any tips on how to actually put this into practice?
Yeah, he recommends setting up a separate account specifically for this. Even better if it's an investment account.
Okay.
Where that money can start working for you immediately.
Okay.
He also suggests automating the process.
Okay.
Have a certain percentage of your paycheck directly deposited into that account.
So you don't even have to think about it.
Exactly.
It's like tricking yourself into saving.
Yeah.
Without feeling the pinch.
Right, because it removes the temptation to spend it elsewhere.
Right.
Because it's already allocated towards your future.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, so what other steps from Kiyosaki's list stand out to you as important?
Well, one that he emphasizes throughout the book is the importance of finding good advisors.
Okay, so mentors, financial advisors, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kiyosaki firmly believes that you don't have to figure everything out on your own. Having a team of experts in your corner, whether it's a financial advisor, a lawyer, an accountant, or even just a trusted mentor who's already achieved what you're aiming for, can save you so much time and money and headaches in the long run.
It's like having that shortcut to success.
Totally.
Leveraging the experience and wisdom of those who have already walked the path.
Exactly. And Kiyosaki shares some great stories about how he's benefited from having mentors in his own life.
Right, like his rich dad.
Right.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
That was like the ultimate mentorship experience.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
We talked about the two dads, the rat race, the importance of, those assets versus liabilities.
Right.
Kiyosaki's 5 roadblocks to wealth. And some of those key steps from his 10-step plan. What's the biggest takeaway you hope listeners walk away with?
I think the most powerful message in this book is that financial literacy is within everyone's reach.
Yeah.
It's not about being born wealthy or having some special talent.
Right.
It's about taking responsibility for your financial education, making informed choices, and consistently taking action towards your goals.
It's about changing your mindset.
Yes.
From feeling like money controls you
Right.
to feeling like you're in the driver's seat
Exactly.
of your own financial destiny.
I love that. And that's where I think Kiyosaki's final message really hits home.
Okay.
He says, if money is only an idea, what ideas about money are shaping your life? That's a really powerful question to think about.
It is.
It makes you realize that our beliefs and attitudes about money can either empower us or hold us back.
It's so true.
Wow.
Yeah. And so Kiyosaki challenges us to examine those beliefs, to challenge the status quo, and create a new set of rules for ourselves when it comes to money.
So it's not just about learning how money works.
Yay.
But about questioning those assumptions we've been taught.
Exactly.
About what money means and how it should be used.
Absolutely. And with that in mind, I think we'll leave you with this final thought.
Okay.
What one action can you take today to start mastering money instead of letting it master you?
Ooh, that's good.
Think about it, explore it, and most importantly, take action.
That's a wrap on our deep dive into Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Awesome.
Until next time, keep learning and keep diving deep.